Says I am live. Pop out the chat. Yeah, get myself. Let's see. Go ahead and tweet it out. There we go. That looks good. That looks like I got 2 viewers. Cool. Let me know what you think of this mic. Can you hear me all right? I'm using a lav mic tonight. This is one that I did a video for an unboxing of this one. I haven't released it yet, but I just wanted to test it out on here, see how it sounded. And if it sounds good, I'm going to use it when I unbox the printer. I'm hoping to do it tomorrow night. Hey, Greg, how you doing, my friend? I got my camera locked down where it's not supposed to be changing the light or anything, but it looks like it switched on me. Looks like we got EWAP. Forgive me if I got that wrong. We got King Random. Doing good, Greg. Thank you. How's it sound? Is it sounding all right to you? Do I need more volume, less volume? When I'm on Hangouts, I try to go where it's about 3 dots, 4 dots on the screen. That usually is about right. Yeah, I got fluorescent lights, one up here, one over there. And then I've got LED lights straight ahead. A little bit hot on the mic. Okay, let's go ahead and knock that down. I was wondering about that. Okay, that's about 48%. That should be a little bit better, hopefully. Yeah, what I saw was the white balance changed on it. We got C-Dub in the house. How you doing, Calvin? Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that they're messing with the sensor. And I had the sensor locked in position, but for some reason, it's like it reactivated. So I'll have to go back in. I won't worry about it right now, but I'll have to go back in and see if I can lock that down again. Because I have it where it's zoomed out all the way. Because for everything I read about this particular camera, it's the Logitech 920C, I believe it's called. And if everything I read said lock it so it's not you're not zoomed in. Make sure that you've got the white balance locked. You know, the autofocus where it's turned off and all that. What's for dinner, Calvin? Z pressure. So is that like that? What's that called? The one that's got like the little sensor where it pokes pokes the bed. Is that what you're talking about for leveling? Oh, nice BL Touch. That looks like I got 8 people in here now. Cool. Is the mic sounding better now that I turned down the volume on it? Not clipping anymore. Hey, we got Curtis in the house. How you doing, Curtis? Yeah, I was noticing with this mic, it's really it seems like a pretty hot mic. I can actually knock it down a little bit more because it's still going up pretty high. Let's see. Yeah, that's about halfway right there. Let me know how that one sounds. It sound like Roboto? Hello, Kat. How you doing? That sounds better like that? Cool. Yeah, that's like 45% now. So I got it way turned down way. Like when I use my other mic, I have it turned up to about 80 on that one. And I here recently, I just happened to click on one of the streams we did, and I think I need to probably turn that one up closer to 85 to make it sound a little bit better. Just woke up. Yeah, I'm getting ready to go to bed here pretty soon. Yeah, I just wanted to come on tonight and test out this microphone, make sure it's working, and then just kind of talk with you guys and visit with you and kind of let you know what's going on this end of it. Some of the people that on Twitter know what's going on, but my mom recently has gotten worse, so I've been spending a lot more time, taking care of her, being with her, and I haven't been making the videos I normally would make. And I want to apologize to everybody right up front for the content this way it's been, but I'm planning on kind of getting back into everything here. In fact, I've got the unboxing for the Giant Arm D200 from G-Tech. I'll be doing that. I'll record it probably tomorrow night or Sunday night, and I'll have it up for Wednesday. But I just kind of wanted to let you guys know what was going on that way. She, health-wise, it has gotten a lot worse, which unfortunately with cancer, that's just the way it goes. She exhausted all the treatments that they had available, and some of them worked really good, some of them didn't. But it finally just come to the point where they've exhausted all of them at this point. So unfortunately, that's just the way things go. But it's all going to, one way or another, everything will work out. It's just a matter of letting everything happen as it happens, I guess. Yeah, Kat, I do feel bad though about the content, because I do know for a fact that I've kind of slacked off here recently, but it's I'm kind of getting used to the way things are right now. So now it's getting where it's going to be a little bit easier getting out here and making the videos and keeping things rolling the way it's supposed to be. Now, luckily, the pain, that's one thing the doctors have been very surprised about, is her pain level, because even with the bone cancer and everything, her pain level has stayed fairly low, and it's been well managed with pain patches, and because they use a fentanyl patch, and that's been helping out a lot. But at this stage of it, they expected the pain to be way worse, and they said that pain-wise that she's doing really good, and they're keeping it managed really well. So that's one thing I'm very thankful for. Yeah, family does come first, and that's no matter what. That's my priorities right now are family, and then work, and then YouTube. Yeah, the videos, like Calvin says, the videos are an escape, and that's one thing I was very thankful when I started the channel. in fact, it's going to be September 29th, I believe, will be my 2-year anniversary on YouTube. Because back in the beginning, all I did is I shared concert videos. Like if I went to a concert, I'd record bits and pieces of it and I'd put it up on YouTube, and it wasn't monetized or nothing. It's nothing like that. I just did it because it was easier to upload it to YouTube and then share the link on Facebook, because at that time Facebook was not it wasn't set up for videos like it is now. Like now, Facebook is just, it's awesome when it comes to uploading videos to it. You upload a video, it's up within a few minutes, it's good. But back in September of 2015, you upload a video to Facebook, it would go so far, and then it would stop and stutter, and then restart the upload all over again. And it was just a nightmare. So finally, I started doing it to YouTube because it was a very smooth, that would go up and no problem at all. But anyway, that's after the 1st of January on 2016 is when I really started getting into making ratchet repair videos and doing this video and that video, go to the beach. If we took a road trip, record as we're going, that kind of stuff like that. So it became kind of an outlet, because my mom's cancer was diagnosed back in 2014. So this has been it's been a progress, this whole time. It's in the very beginning, it was very bad, because when they discovered it, she was terminal stage 4 metastatic disease. It had spread to her lungs. It was, the doctors just doom and gloom, all we can do is keep her comfortable. And then the next day, that's when the surgeons came in. They're like, whoa, wait a minute. We got some tricks up our sleeves. Let's go ahead and take out the kidney, because the kidney had a huge tumor on it. So they removed the kidney, and by doing that, it like reset the clock, so to speak. And that helped a lot, because then she was able to start gaining weight. She was able to start getting healthy again. And she was doing great for all these years, for up until, I would say, it was around August of last year is when it took a jump. Because up till then, it was like, okay, it's in the lungs, but it's regulated. It's in the lungs, it's regulated. We kept it in the lungs until in August of last year. That's when it jumped to the bone. That's when she started with the bone cancer. It was in her ribs and in her sternum. And then it slowly progressed to where it's in vertebrae and different areas. And they tried to keep on top of it, hit it with radiation, where they keep giving her the shots to control the calcium and all that, because it's a balancing act. Everything about it is a balancing act. It's just amazing what you end up learning about this stuff. Man, stuff you don't want to know. But yeah, it's just the YouTube has been a kind of a release, kind of a way of kind of escaping reality, and get to do what's kind of fun. Because if you had asked me a few years ago, hey, you want to go on YouTube, I would have said, why? Why? I watched videos on there every so often at that time, but it was nothing like it is now. And fiddle, once I started getting into YouTube and started making videos, and it's like, hey, I had 3 people watch that video and they hit like. I think I'll make another video, and it was just addicting, because it's like, hey, that's cool. People liked what I did. I'll make another one. And now I got this. Oh. And I'll be honest with you, I was talking with my wife probably, I think it was about 3 months ago. I was talking to her and I said, I think maybe I should just take a break from YouTube. And I really considered it. And I even talked with Calvin. We talked about it. And he's like, no, he said, this is your escape. And the same way with Beth. She's like, no, this is your escape. You need to stick with it. And I'm like, I want to, but at the same time wise, and I said, make time, just do it. And I'm like, okay. So still here. Let's see. Hey, Kat, you're doing really good on your content, though. You're doing really good. King Random, enjoy the time you have left with your mother. My father is slowly losing his mind to dementia. I understand where you are. Videos are not important. Yeah, when the time comes, I will more than likely take a little bit of time off. But you know, as far as like a week or two or something, I'm hoping I can get enough content built up between now and when the time comes to where it won't be just everything shut off for a few weeks or nothing like that. I'm trying my best to keep things going the best I can. I was like, I filmed the quick video on this unboxing this microphone last night, and it's not the best video I've ever done by any means, but man. Let's see. Sound blessing, honestly, would never know she had cancer. Yeah. Yeah, my mom had done really good. Even having the bone cancer, when they started treating it with the radiation, it wasn't as noticeable, especially once she got back home from the hospital, because by then they'd already hit the areas with the radiation. They already started the shots and stuff like that, so it really helped out a lot. So she was able to build back up, you know, and was actually functioning quite well. What the position she's in now has just happened in the last, I think it's been the last month and a half to a month. That's when everything started really changing. And then dramatic changes in the last, I'd say the last 2 weeks. I see Curtis is back. I hope you can hear me now. like the guy on Verizon. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yeah, run into Rick at Maker Faire. He's awesome. He was the second one to recognize me. The first guy, I really wish I would have got his name better and everything, but I met uh, I met Rick there, and he gave me a fidget spinner. I should have brought it over here with me as a boat propeller that he designed. And I'll never forget that. That was awesome. It's a different feeling when you have somebody that you don't know walk up and says, "I know you." Oh my God, Curtis! No, no, man. Thank you so much, man. Let me get back up here. Yeah, I get frustrated. Remember that? Yeah, that's right. I do remember. That's one thing that keeps me going is because of Rick and my other fellow creators on YouTube. I mean, they have been so awesome to me. Uh, I if you would have told me that there would be a day that I'd meet Joel and I'd meet Chuck and I'd meet Jerry and different ones like that and actually start becoming friends with them, I would have never believed it. And then as I'm friends with all of them and they're great people. And that's one of my biggest fears when you meet somebody for the first time. Are they actually like that in real life, or are they different in person? And thankfully, I can say everybody I have met has been spot on with what they are on camera, and that's just been awesome. And actually, more friendly than I could ever imagine. Talking about sandblasting, what was the verdict on the glass bed? Okay, the glass bed that I sandblasted, I end up quitting. I quit using it because it seemed like it stuck really good at first, but then after a few times, I think it built up like a residue from the PLA to where it wouldn't stick. Now, knowing what I know now, I'll probably revisit that because I can actually just wash it down with isopropyl alcohol and it will probably clean that off. If not, I could probably even use, what's that called? Acetone, and clean that residue off and continue trying it. I'll give that a shot. But That'll be coming up soon. I'm glad you reminded me of that. Yeah, dementia is horrible, and sadly that's kind of the way my mom is doing right now. It kind of reminds me of that because we had a neighbor that had dementia, and also one of the family members back in Colorado. I believe it was dementia / onset of Alzheimer's, but he also had cancer. And talking with him, and then talking with my mom, and that's I feel that it's like something's not quite right, but I can't put my finger on it. And that's one thing that just grinds me to death is when you can't fix something, and that's my biggest problem is I'm so used to fixing stuff. All this whole time has just been second guessing doctors and going along. Let's see. Then there's some canned chili with salami. Hey, now that sounds pretty good. I am not above eating salami. Please tell me it's the Gallo salami. There is no other salami. And I'm coming back over here to Lucky's deal. Lucky donated $250. Thank you so much. Thank you, Curtis. I cannot thank you enough. But at the same time, it's not necessary. My goodness, thank you. Yes, Curtis is awesome. Uh-oh. I see a refund coming, Curtis. He hit the hoe too many times. Oh, man. Oh, Curtis, hit me up. We'll make this right. Oh, man. Okay, acetone will work with ABS, not PLA. That's one thing I've always wondered about, and thank you for telling me that. I know the isopropyl alcohol. I use that every time before I print on BuildTak, and because the BuildTak initially just grips like crazy, and then after several prints, it will take and get to the point where the PLA just wants to peel off, and then I thought, okay, when that happened, you replace the BuildTak, and I remember that's one of the first conversations Calvin and I had, and he's like, "What are you doing? Don't remove the BuildTak. You can save it. Just use the isopropyl alcohol." And I've been using that ever since, and I'm on my second sheet of BuildTak on the Meat Creator 2, which I have had it's going on a year, I think in October or November. I forget which. I want to say it's in October. It'll be 1 year. And I'm only on the second sheet. And the first sheet, I would have probably still been on that sheet now if I had paid attention. Let's see. Calvin's saying it's always awkward for me when I meet someone and they're more surprised to see more than me than I am them. That's cool. Okay, Curtis saying, just try to pass it along, man. Thank you very much. I cannot thank you enough. Let's see, I think I jumped my thing here. Let's see, let me get back. Hot water will work. Okay, I'll give that a shot sometime too. Okay, is everybody's feed frozen? Because Greg the Great says his feed is frozen. Okay, Calvin's saying it's working fine. Let's see. It's Columbus from Trader Joe's. Low salt stuff for grandma. Gallo, man. Gallo. Can't go wrong with Gallo dry salami. That stuff is the best. My aunt came from Tennessee, and before she goes back, she has to take and buy like sticks and packages and everything she can to take back with her, because in Tennessee they don't normally carry it because of the heat. So she tries to pack it in her luggage and fly back there as quick as she can, put it in the refrigerator. King Random, by the way, you still haven't checked into Facebook. Forgive me. What didn't I check on into Facebook? Please let me know. Kat, how did you donate? Lucky, super chat. I think it has to do with what country you're in. I'm not 100% sure how that works. I even forgot I even set up super chat back the first time I did a stream and somebody donated. I forgot I even set that up. I think it was an email I got saying, hey, we now offer something like that. And I think I clicked on it or something. I forget. How many wet burritos is that? Okay, wet burritos are what? $5.95 each? That's a lot of wet burritos. Good Calvin impersonation impression. We have NLT MW in the house. How you doing, my friend? Let's see. I just jumped the chat again here. I did the wheel instead of just grabbing it, and I should have just done that. Okay, so Calvin's going behind my back and sending Facebook messages to Kat. I'm joking with you, Calvin. Okay, Greg's got his stream working. Sweet. Yeah, even mine. I'm not looking at the YouTube page. I'm looking at the Hangouts page, and even on here, I've seen it freeze up. Which I don't know if that's if I'm seeing what's live on the camera. Which if it is, then it was the computer that stuttered, or if it's a return feed from what Hangouts, because I think it uploads it to Hangouts, and Hangouts is what distributes it, if I remember right. King Random, did you see I made a cockroach with my 3D printer video? Yes, I did. That's what you're talking about. Oh my God. Yeah, I did see that. Oh man. Yeah, Chris, is that why you left? Oh man. Okay, I really wish Curtis would come back to Twitter, but at the same time, I respect his decision. Sometimes social media can just get to a person. I totally understand that. For me, it's Facebook. I was pretty much, I forget when, I don't know if anybody remembers when TGI Fridays had that Woody. He came on there and said, become my friend on Facebook and I'll send you then TGI Fridays will send you a coupon for a free hamburger or whatever. I forget what it was. That's when I joined Facebook. And I just got addicted to it. And that's where I've stayed the whole time. I had a Twitter account, which I still have a personal Twitter account. I never use it because I couldn't figure it out. I finally figured out how to make friends on Twitter, as far as, following somebody or however that way. But I just never got into Twitter. And then whenever I started the YouTube channel, it's like everybody's like, you got to be on Twitter. You got to be on Twitter. And it's like, okay. And I kid you not, it took me 6 months before I even knew remotely what the @ symbol did or what the number sign that everybody calls a hashtag. I've always was called it a number sign or a pound. I had to learn all that. It was a learning curve. I'll kid you not. But now I'm to the point now where I go to my Facebook page and I look at friends and family, and I cannot go on there and say what I really feel, because there's so much hate and discontent and just horrible stuff on there. It's like, this is just garbage to this point. So I've got my friends on Twitter. I follow a lot of you guys on there, and I don't see that. I see people trying to get along with each other and being nice to each other, and it's like, why in the world would I go to that whenever I can, go to this? Even comments on my videos are not that bad. I mean, I had a guy come on there yesterday, so talking about the upgrade I did on my computer when I put in the new graphics card, and he's like, your cables make me puke. Like, okay, I've had other people say all kinds of really mean things. That's nothing compared to what I see on Facebook. And we're supposed to be friends and family on there too. Oh man. Sent you a message about a filament holder on G-Tech for the G-Tech. I don't remember seeing that. I'll go back on there and look. I'll take a look. And I do have to ask your forgiveness on that too, because my cell phone has been messing up for, I think it's been about 2 weeks now. I haven't been getting my notifications from the Facebook page. I noticed, I think it was yesterday, I restarted my phone and I had all kinds of notifications come through. But there was another thing where the badges weren't showing up, the numbers. So I actually cleared the data on it last night, and I started getting notifications again. So hopefully I'll get back on there and take a look and see if I can find that. Jimmy is regretting it. Regretting what? That's one good thing, is I have very few regrets. Oh, I got a few regrets, but not that many. Let's see. It's because of you, Craig. Curtis left because of you, Greg. It's because of you. No, I'm kidding. It's the hair. Oh, man. Greg replied to Curtis with a frowny face with a tear running down. Oh, wow, it's 1:30 a.m. there. Yeah, it's 10:30 here. I'm not going to go on all night. I just wanted to come on and maybe just kind of talk with you guys and let you know what's going on. I posted a thing it's actually on my blog on my channel, my God. It's on my website. I didn't even know I had a blog till a while back. I messed with it and then I deleted it, and then I decided to go ahead and add it back on there again. So there's stuff I would like to type out every so often, and I actually type that all up on my cell phone in the memo part on my cell phone, and then upload it to that. And then I thought, well, nobody ever, because I released I did a thing on there a while back. I forget what it was. I think it was for the 200 my 200th video, and I don't think anybody ever read it. So I went ahead and I put that up there about what was going on with my mom, and then I went ahead and shared it on Twitter like I would normally do, and I was just completely overwhelmed. I could not believe how many people interacted with that and told me about what happened with them and their families and stuff like that. It's just, I know cancer is the #1 killer in America, but you don't realize it until you start talking with people and finding out how many people are affected by it. It's just a crazy, insane amount of the deal. And that's one thing I would like to, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to talk to you about too. a lot of my family members and friends around here, whenever they have that marathon thing where the Cancer Society comes out and they have where they go and they walk around some park or whatever for 24 hours. A lot of them will go and they'll earn money for that and do that. There is something else though. If anybody ever wants to donate to it, in fact, when the time comes, and I get where I can actually start making enough to actually donate to this cause, I'm personally going to do it. And there's actually I got to find out the name of it. Let me see if I can reduce this down so I can find it. I'm going completely blind here, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm clicking into or out to. I'm hoping everything's still going. But let's do a new tab. Let's see. Remember. Here's the thing, and that's one thing that always bothers me is I always thought whenever you donated to that cause or you took and you uh, did the marching and walk around those parks and all that and earn money for the Cancer Society, I always understood that they helped those who had cancer. But from what I understand now, they pay for or they help with the research on cancer, which is, don't get me wrong, is a great thing because there's been, since my mom has come up with this, there has probably been 3 treatments that didn't exist before that came out during the time that this nearly 3 years that she's been dealing with this, that has come out while she had this, that I think for the most part has probably helped extend her life to where it is now, because you got to realize it came from being stage 4, you're done, to okay, you've lived almost 3 years, and that's to me has been a miracle in itself. But the treatments I think have been a great help to it. But the thing is, the Cancer Society doesn't help pay for the treatments. Now, we're not talking, okay, she's got Medicare, she's got a supplement, she's got Part D to where they help pay for your uh, blood pressure pills and this and that. When you get into chemo, and especially the pill form of chemo, you cannot fathom the dollar amount that is involved in that. I mean, I remember the first time a package came in the mail and we had to sign for it, because you don't go to your local Walmart, you don't go to CVS and say, okay, I would like to get my prescription, please. It doesn't work like that. You've got to take and you've got to either have it where you go through your oncologist office if they have a pharmacy in it, or you have to go through one of the mail order companies which deals with chemo. And the first time any of it came, $14,000 for a bottle of pills, as 1 pill a day for 30 days, 30 pills, 14,000 bucks is what the retail cost of it was. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, that is a car. It was sobering, I'll tell you what. But I wish I could find this place that helped my mom out. Let's see. Trying to find it. Oh, I think I remember the name of it. I think it's called Patient Access. Let's see. Forgive me for taking so long here. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. It's called PAN Foundation. It's a Patient Access Network. And let me see if I can get back over here to the chat and everything. I'm just going to go ahead and grab that. And no, in the wrong screen. I'm lost. I'm going to put the link in the chat. And I'll tell you what, if you ever want to help people with being able to purchase their chemo, this place helped my mom so much. If your income, your income level, the amount of coverage that you have on your insurance, it's all factors into what what you claim on your, as far as your income tax, which I don't even think they go by what you own, but they go by how much money you earn. And when she first got diagnosed and they said, okay, now we want to go ahead, and they took out the kidney and they said, okay, now the areas in your lungs, we want to go ahead and clean it up with chemo. I was like, okay. And all right, okay. So we got your insurance information. Okay. So the copay is going to be $5,000. What? $5,000? $5,000. And they don't ship it until you pay the $5,000. And it's like, okay, well, we can afford to take, we can scrape up $5,000. We can go ahead and get this paid and get it. But the next round for next month, how are we going to pay that? And we're trying our best to figure out how in the world we're going to come up with that much money to keep things going. And thankfully, at her oncologist's office, they had all the pamphlets and everything, and they're like, okay, well, you try going through Social Security first. Go through Social Security. Nope, can't do it. You own your own home, can't do it. And then it's like, okay, then what? Do we mortgage the house? Do we sell it? What do we do? And they said no. So we've got let us work on it. So what we'll do is we'll get you some samples to take care of you for this month, and then we'll see what we can do. And thankfully, they were able to get samples, got those in, and by the time it was time for her to get the refill, they contacted the place. I put the link in the chat, and they went over all of her information. They approved her. They sent her like what looked like a credit card. It had an account number on it, and she gave that to the pharmacy, and they were able to, they took care of the copayment. And if it hadn't have been for them, I honestly don't know how we would have paid for past that first treatment. We had the money we could come up with for that first treatment, but after that, I don't know how we would have paid for it. And thankfully they came up and they took care of it, and they have been such a blessing. And they accept grants, if people donate money to them and stuff like that. And if you ever want to help people who have to pay for their chemo, that is my biggest suggestion, is those people right there. They're the ones that will actually accept the money, and then they go and they put it in a fund and say, okay, we're going to pay for up to $10,000, up to $20,000. And every year you have to requalify. And then if they have too many people, then they just say, we're sorry, we're out of money. But they'll also help you say, okay, well, here's another place that you can try, or here's another place you can try, or try contacting this manufacturer of the pill and see if there's any way they can help you. They help you out a lot of ways that way, which was really cool. I mean, they were a godsend, I'll tell you. Let's see. Sorry for going on that long deal, but I just wanted to bring that up to you guys. Let's see, I'm losing my chat here. Why am I keep losing my chat? There. Now I got it back. I grabbed the wrong bar. I must be getting too tired here or something. Yeah, there's the bar. Got it. I was grabbing the back page. Let's see. Calvin, you should go peep my Facebook page. I got my hit single on there. Making it with C-Dub. We have Paul here? We do. How you doing, my friend? PJ is in the house. We have Carl in here. How you doing, Carl? That's Paul was saying in here. His cousin had to do the pill version. It was a state worker for New York, and they weren't covering it. Luckily, his wife's insurance covered it. If you have insurance that covers that, that is awesome. I mean, I don't know. I just assumed whenever you had cancer that somehow the federal government or something like that would help out with it. Because I remember years ago they used to have a thing on the income tax to help out with cancer. Check here. I guess all that has to do with research. It didn't have to do with actually paying for it. But that is awesome when you have insurance that's that good. I'll tell you what. Calvin, the moral of the story there is double check where your money is truly going to make sure you know exactly what you're directly supporting. Yeah, and that was a shocker to me because I asked myself, well, what about the Cancer Society? And they're like, they don't pay for chemo. But they go and they have all these different functions. They have these raffles. They have this. They have that. I said, they do not pay for chemo. They pay for the studies for chemo. I'm like, which don't get me wrong, that's not a bad thing. I mean, the more studies they can do, the more that they can evolve this thing. Because here's the thing, see if I can describe this right. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of the Singing Hensons. My uncle is Uncle Ronnie Henson, and he used to be in the group. And then now the younger generation has taken over, so my cousins are in the group. But my Uncle Ronnie, his brother, because he's my uncle by marriage, his brother Kenny, he was diagnosed with kidney cancer, and he did not live 3 years. I mean, we're talking, he went, I believe it was a matter of months, if I remember right. And the research and everything they have done as far as coming up with the chemos they have now is just amazing, because while it doesn't, a lot of times they can't cure it, they can extend your life by a lot, make it where it's more manageable and everything. So it's just amazing what they have done as far as cancer research. That's one reason why Barnacules, when he came out with that video last year, it was in August of 2016 is when he came out with his cancer video, where he had just got the brand new, I believe it was the Pascal memory card, or the graphics cards in his brand new PC. And so he was like, okay, what do I do with this? And so he decided, you know what, I'm going to take it. He remembered using Folding at Home previous. So he downloaded that on his computer and he started cranking out, where I believe it's where Stanford will take, and it uses the processing power of your GPUs in order to do this folding of the different, I honestly don't know how to explain it, but it's for cancer research. And a lot of times they do it for breast cancer and stuff like that, which, believe me, so many cancers have been treated by them working on breast cancer that a lot of the pills and stuff they have now for kidney cancer came from the breast cancer research. And there's different cancer researches. Like, in fact, one of them was that I learned about was that Opdivo. I don't know if anybody's ever saw that commercial where they say Opdivo, whatever the rest of that name is, a chance to live longer. When my mom first heard about that, she's like, what a horrible, horrible medication. She says, I never want to take that. I said, why is that? She said, listen to this commercial. I kid you not. It was like, it can cause death after the fact. You know, you could be cured of cancer and then it'll turn around and attack your organs and this and that. And it's like, that is horrible. They actually tried that on my mom. And they said it was the miracle drug. It's one that they had a group of people that had, I believe it was lung cancer, and they were terminal. It was like they were going to start doing this study on this other medication, but they also knew this medication wasn't going to do all that much. And the people that were on Opdivo were like living way longer. And it's like, it came to the point where they're like, okay, we're going to end this study on this one that we know is not going to do what this one's doing. We're putting everybody over on that. And that pharmaceutical company actually did that and made it so that all those people were able to live longer using that medication. And even till now, they still refer to it as a miracle medication because it treats so many different cancers, even though it wasn't intended for the cancers it's treating. It was originally meant for melanoma, which is, I believe it's a skin cancer. And okay, it works with this one. Okay, it works with that one. And every day they're adding a new cancer that it can treat. So it's just amazing how things are changing. And the thing is, things are changing so much. You figure if somebody had cancer back in the 80s, how it affected them, because even my grandfather on my mom's side passed away from cancer. I don't know what type it was, but it was we're talking, I believe it was 6 or 8 weeks from the time he was diagnosed to the time that he had passed. But you figured today, there's no telling how long he would have lived with that treatment. It's just amazing that the advances they have made. And I have been rambling. I am sorry about that. Try to get caught back up on the chat here. Sorry about, I've neglected you guys and I'm so sorry. Oh, George is in the house. How you doing, George? Thank you very much, George, for working Monday. I appreciate it. He helped me out because I had forgot about my wife. Beth is having surgery on Monday. She's having her gallbladder removed. And I'm like, I forgot to request the day off. So George helped me out. He took my shift on Monday. So that makes it where I can spend time with her, make sure she's all right, make sure mom's all right, make sure everybody's all right. It's been busy. Man. Yes, Calvin Witt makes very good videos. Every time a video comes out, I'm usually the first one that watches it. King Random, thank you very much. I imagine no telling how far back you wrote that, but thank you very much for joining. I appreciate it. Sofa King. I felt bad because I did that to a guy one time. I remember the joke for that one, or if they say it fast enough. Oh man. see here. Cat's chat froze. Mine didn't apparently because I'm finding a lot more than what I knew was there. Let's see. Thank you, Calvin, for taking care of that. I appreciate it. Let's see. I think I'm almost to the end here. Yeah, George is awesome. He's really cool. I've known him and his sister for quite a while. I've known his sister since she started working there at Sears when she started in the jewelry department. But George is awesome. Yeah, I'm a stalker, Calvin. Sorry. Oh man. She's been there for 10 years. Man, really? See, this year, if I make it till November, it'll be 16 years I've been there. I know I should do these streams more often. Of course, we got our Tuesday stream, but yeah, I like doing this. I really do. What's the next big print for Jimmy? Now that I've got a bigger printer, I don't know. There's going to be something because that one's got a 180 by 180 by 300 build volume. And I can think of all kinds of things that can get me in trouble with that. Yeah, the Meat Creator 2 is a very nice machine. I've heard some people they rag on that machine so bad, but I have not had a bit of problem with it other than changing out that fan. That was the only major thing I had to do to it. Other than that, I think I replaced the Teflon tube or the nozzle throat because I kept running carbon fiber through it. But other than that machine has been rock solid for me. I love that machine. I'm really hoping the Giant Arm is going to be that good. If that Giant Arm is half as good as that Meat Creator 2, that's going to be awesome. You know what, Calvin? Someday I'm going to take and I'm going to hit the start button without you knowing it. If you guys heard half the stuff that we say to each other off camera, we're not mean, but we have fun. PJ, most people I work with have been around for 12 to 35 years. That is awesome. Anytime you have a job where you have people that's been around for that long, that's a great job. When in the setting that we're at the retail end of it, it's, I won't say it's unheard of, but it's rare to find people that's there for more than 5 years. Typically, 5 years is like the breaking point to where people are like, I'm done, I'm leaving. Calvin's saying, like what he said the stream the other day, find that people's experiences with a product seem pretty based off of how much they know how to use it. Now that's exactly the truth. For instance, my Geeetech Aluminum i3. You can look back at my videos, and I had this come up. I had that come up. I had all these different things I had to do to it. But to be 100% honest, probably over half of them, well, let's say 3/4 of them were because of me. I didn't know that you have to take and print at a specific temperature in order to keep it from clogging up or causing problems that way. I didn't know you can't over tighten a nozzle throat, because if you do, it'll just pop it. There's different things I didn't know that I had to learn. And by learning it on that machine, when I got the Meat Creator 2, I knew not to do that stuff. I knew, okay, I'm changing the nozzle throat, or I'm going to change the Teflon tubing inside the nozzle throat. So let's not over tighten the nozzle throat. Let's see. Calvin, it's like me and Danielle on the GoPro handle vid when she scolds me for improper grammar. I mean, it's not being spared done for comedy. Dude, she is so awesome. You're very fortunate to have a friend like that, I'll tell you. PJ, talking to Calvin. I can make the R2 work just fine. I'm just annoyed with taking a $1,500 printer and needing to actually alter it to make it function properly. That there is no truer sentence uttered than what you just said right there. That's when you buy a kit for 300 or 330 bucks like I did. It can be understandable that there's some things that you may or may not have to fix up as time goes on. But I would say when you cross the $700 mark, let's change that, because now the way printers are, I would say when you cross the $500 mark, it to me is unacceptable that when you buy a printer and you take it out of the box and you set it up and parts start falling off, parts start breaking, it's not functioning. There's a problem there. Now, whether it's, I'm not going to say I already know what I'm going to expect with this one. I've watched the videos. I've seen the packing instructions on this. There's your best or one of those. This came from Geeetech. This came from their factory. So this thing had to travel many, many miles packed the way it is. And I know it's going to be packed up good. Now, from what I saw on the R2 when they delivered it, or when they shipped them out, and the unpacking and things I've seen, I don't see that they were packed all that great. From what I saw, they were packed fairly cheaply for the price of the machine. It should have foam like crazy. That thing should be encased in foam. Let's see. Carlos 14 has 2 3D printers. That is awesome. The hot end was full of burrs. That is ridiculous. Kat, it's not necessary at all, my friend. You are awesome. Thank you though for the thought. Carl used to have 3 printers. Did you ever have a Delta? Because one of the printers I want to get eventually is a Delta printer. I would just purely for the novelty of it, because I just love the way those things move. I could see where a person could really get into watching one of those print. Jimmy's internet freaked. What? Oh man. Thank you, Calvin. Yeah, I was just getting ready to do that too, and I saw that you already did it. Your wish is our command. Let's see. The Altimeter 2 came with packing. It was just nuts. Yeah, and that's the thing. A really good printer is going to be packed well. I mean, even my Meat Creator 2, when it came, it had packing everywhere on it. It had zip ties everywhere to hold everything that isn't supposed to move, you know. And when I saw Unlikely taking and unpacking his, and I'm looking, I'm like, what? That's not enough packing. And I honestly believe it may not even be, well, the burrs though in the extruder, that has nothing to do with packing. That right there is that's just uncalled for. That's ridiculous. No, I can't believe that one. Well, I believe it, but at the same time, it's like, really? And I'll be honest with you. There was a time when Beth and I went up to Fry's Electronics, and I was going to buy an was it the R1 or 1 point, whatever the second one was. It wasn't the Kickstarter one. It was the one that was the one that you could buy at the store. I actually went to Fry's one week, looked at the sign that they had there, talked it over with Beth, and was like, okay, let's go ahead and go buy that. I went up there to go buy it, and for some reason they quit selling it that next week. And then I heard that there was like some kind of a recall that they had at that time. And I can't help it. Ever since then, I kind of had a bad taste in my mouth. It's like, okay, never mind. Carl spent all his money at the fair. Man. The packing for the body. Paul was just saying how they packed it up. That's uncalled for. Calvin, I know my old job had deltas. Maybe it's scarred me for life. Oh man. Cat, I have just bought my second Delta, going to build it soon. Just have to get my videos about the M Jewelry finished. That's a nice printer that you've got right there. That is a really nice one. Calvin, the Rise 3D, his old job had literally a dumpster full of foam and cardboard, even tools to unlock the head. That is awesome. There's times where I hate packing material and it gets in the way of the product, I think, and all that. But then when it comes to something that's worth that much money, that thing should just be just rock solid with packing material. I mean, there's not enough packing material you can put in it, in my estimation. They're coming from Foxconn? You're kidding me, right? Wow. Yeah, Kat. See. Yeah, it's like with GTech. GTech, I have an affiliate link with them, and they're going to try giving me a discount code for this printer. But at the same time, like I told them, I said I understand with it being as new as it is, if you can't do it. But I think they're going to have like specials coming up at Christmas time, so they'll do something at that point. But wow, yeah, CNC has really got a pretty good deal when it comes to bed leveling. Carl, have you heard of the $49 Delta print? No, I have not. The 101 Hero. I'll check that out. It's 49 bucks? Really? I can afford that. Of course, then again, if it's anything like that $30 printer I ordered on Wish, hey, I couldn't help it. I had to do it just in case it was real. Uh-oh, Delta Maker 2 stopped. Okay, what's coming off the bed, Calvin? Oh wow, I've already been streaming for over an hour. I told my wife, "Oh yeah, I'll be over there for about 30 minutes. I'll be back over." Oh, the good thing is sometimes she watches the stream, so she'll know that I'm still streaming. Got my Kool-Aid. Well, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and fold it up. Don't buy the 101 Hero. It is, yeah. In that case, I'll save my 49 bucks. Oh, the locomotive you did. Okay, sweet. Calvin designs a lot of locomotive stuff. A lot. Yep, this is a great Kool-Aid. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Got the blue Kool-Aid. I used to drink the red Kool-Aid, but I went to the blue Kool-Aid. I got addicted to it. Yes, Calvin has an addiction. He is addicted to trains. And I think that what's his name? Kevlar Condom has got an idea when it comes to that briefcase train. You really have to consider that one. Well, guys, let's go ahead and call it. I wanted to come over here and kind of get things cleaned up, kind of get everything all set up so that I can start that video sometime tomorrow. I was going to do it in the morning, but I'm going to wait and do it, probably do it tomorrow night. You know, that way I won't be rushed or anything, because I want to get up there. I'm going to take Beth out to breakfast in the morning, go on up, see my mom, spend most of the day with her, then probably take Beth somewhere in the afternoon. Then tomorrow night I can come back here and feel relaxed enough to take care of everything. But man, let's see. Calvin is a genius. If you ever meet him in person, he is one of the smartest guys I've met for his age. He is a really, really nice guy. Really smart. Yeah, thank you, Calvin. I felt I needed to come on here and talk with you guys, let you know what's going on, and I really appreciate you guys sticking with me and hearing me out. I appreciate it. But and I cannot thank Curtis enough. My God, man. Honestly, if you hit too many zeros, let me know. I'll be talking to you anyway. Oh man. I got to post a picture of my cat on there, cat. My let's see if I can do it on here, like show you. She's finally got bigger. She was a kitten, I think, last time I showed you a picture of her. But she's gotten a little bit bigger. But she's going to be a small cat, I believe. I don't think she's going to get up very big. Let's see. Is it that one? It's going to kind of blend in. But she's on a gray comforter right there. She's that sweet little kitten. She's just now getting where she's actually starting to love up on me a little bit. Not like my little dog at all. I still miss Fluffy. She was really cool. But that little dog, she slept with me all the time. She was a really cool dog. But the kitten's starting to warm up, I think. Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for helping me get this set up as far as the sound and everything on microphone, and should do pretty good on the unboxing. And I'll have that video hopefully out on Wednesday is what I'm shooting for. So guys, thank you very much. Have a great night. Take care. And thanks for listening to me most of all. Have a great night. Bye.